Welcome friends, welcome back to another YouTube video on MS SQL Server. In this video we are going to talk about group by and having clause. Normally people try to confuse having with where clause. Where is something different and used for a conditional stuff, and having is also a conditional stuff but used with group by. So we'll see in this video how to use a group by, having and where clause in a single query and try to differentiate between that. And before we move on to the video, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe it. It just kind of motivates me to create more videos and share my knowledge with all of you. So let's see how we can use group by, where, and as well as a having clause, and how we can differentiate between these three major important expressions within a select query. So let's say if I have a table, I'm just using the employee table, a standard table I've copied from Oracle. So if I just run this, this has certain rows, certain columns in this. Now let's try to understand firstly why we would do a group by clause. Now group by is technically grouping or kind of putting together some values based upon a certain criteria. So let's say we can group by let's say department number, because some people are working in department number 10, some are working in 20, and some are working in this. We can even group by, let's say, job, because some people might be, if you see in this job case, some people might be clerks, some are salesmen, some are managers, some are analysts, and so on. So this way you can group by the records based upon certain criterias. And when you group by, you have certain group by functions. For example, there can be a max function, a min function, an average function, or like some other functions which you could use by group by. And these functions, they normally are used by group by because you might want to calculate the average of a particular department, or you want to calculate the average salary for a particular job, and so on. So let's firstly see how you could use a group by. Now if I say select star from employee, this is a normal command which I can run. And if I say group by, let's say, job, now I want to group it by job because I want to create groups of jobs or individual structures for clerk, salesman, and so on. Now this command will not run because we are using a star, and star cannot be represented in a form of a group, because if we kind of group it, so let's say we group it by job, so you would have clerk, and how many clerks are there? So there are 4 clerks, right? So you get one particular group with 4 particular individuals, so you could not run a star with this group by job, so it would give you an error. So what we can do here is, so we say we want to display the job because we are actually grouping it by job, and let's say we want to display the average and salary for every job type. So now if I run this query and do this, so I'll get all the groups as individual rows. So within the job, there is an analyst, there is a clerk, there is a manager, president, and salesman. So it means it is grouped by job. All the individual values are categorized as individual rows. And then you have all the average salary for that particular job. 3,000 is the average salary for analyst. So what it does, it actually sums the salary of the all the people who are working as analyst and divide it by the number of people who are working as analysts. So that's how it is working. So now if you want to see even the number of people who are working within each job, so I can say, let's say select count star, and I can just do that. So if I run this, so now you can see this is job, there are 2 analysts, and this is like how we are getting the average salary. So let's give some alias names as, let's say, total employees, and for the average salary also we give an alias name, let's say average salary. Now if you run this query again, so you would have better column names, and so that you could easily understand what exactly is being done in that particular column. Now this is a simple group by, which makes sense. Now how could we use a where condition within the group by? Now for the where condition, so now where is just for using as a condition to filter rows. Now in this case we are getting 5 rows because you have analyst, clerk, manager, president and salesman. Now what I want to do is I just want to be interested in analyst and let's say manager. So I could copy the same command which I've already written, and I just want to filter on the job. So I can say before the group by, I would say where job in. So I want analyst and I want, let's say, manager. Now when I say a where condition with job in these two categories only, and if I run this, exactly this is running as the query which is written on line number 6, but with the exception that now we are having two jobs, one as analyst and one as manager, which we want to filter. So if you run it, it exactly gives you the same result, but only with two conditions, with the two values which we put it in the condition. So that is with the where clause. So where is actually a condition used within a select query, and group by is a kind of a grouping by expression where you can group it by job, by department numbers, projects, or something like that. Now the last thing which we need to learn over here is that is the having clause. Now having is a clause which is used for filtration of the data within the group by expression. Now what happens is if I want to put a condition within this particular case, not within the job, because for the job we put the where condition and which works fine for us. But let's say if I want to display the same record or same result again, but I want that the average salary should be less than 3,000, then I can use a having clause. So I can do is I can just copy the same command which I've already copied, so I can just paste it. So now it has a where job, let's say in, I'll use the same analyst and manager, and then from EMP we need to correct this query from employee where job in this group by this job. Now group by job, and now what we want is within the group by functions which we used, one is the count function, one is the, let's say, the average function. So we want that only within this also, for group by functions, we want to show the job only where the average salary is less than 3,000 and manager has an average salary which is less than 3,000. So what we can do here is, so we can say having average salary less than 3,000. So that's where the condition is put. Now if you see, the having condition is put after the group by job and is technically a filtration on the group by clause, and where is a condition which is used on the actual select query, like the actual result which you get. So if we want to run this and see this, so you'll get only one record because that's the manager where the average salary is less than 3,000. Now if you run this command, just remove this job and let's see where condition we are removing it. So we don't want on analyst or manager, but we still want that the average salary should be less than 3,000. So let's try running it and see what it does. So if we see, there are 3 records where the average salary is less than 3,000. So this is how you could use a group by clause, a group by functions. You can use the where condition to filtration of the rows within the select query, and then you can also use a having clause to further filter the records which are actually depicted by the group by expression. So I hope guys you are going to like this video, and it is going to help you in your daily projects or somewhere. And even if you already know it, it's kind of clearing your concepts more, why there is a group by, why there is a where, and where we are going to use the having clause. So I'll be coming back with more videos, so please stay tuned and have a good one. Thank you.